Alright everyone, welcome back to week 2 of the Big C Invitational Season 1. I apologize, last week the recording kind of got messed up, so visually it looked a little bit weird. Hopefully it's going to look a little bit better this week. Tried some stuff in OBS and I think I got it figured out, but I guess we'll see. Alright, coming into this week, first match we have Adam versus Jagan or Oggy. Earned that last week in the Battle of the Oggies. Jagan obviously 1-0, Adam 0-1, but had a pretty good match. Definitely had a tough matchup against Jack week 1, so let's see what these guys bring to start the game off. Adam leading Vaporeon with Oggy with his Salamence from last week. Definitely a good lead matchup for Adam. Did some research figuring last week Oggy also led with a Salamence. Snorlax not really going to take much from Vaporeon at all though. Breloom coming in. Snorlax cursing up, definitely can do some damage back to Breloom, but has got to be scared of the fighting moves and Spore. Putting something to sleep. Focus Punch. Decides to curse again in front of the Breloom. Not necessarily that great of a decision. Going to take a ton of damage. I'm not quite sure what the curse was for there. Switching out on a potential, I guess on a Spore this time. Breloom commonly carries Ghost coverage to hit Psychics, and there we see it right there. Let's see if Oggy continues to keep this alive as a sleep sack. It's just gonna let it die. Honestly, sometimes what you do against a Breloom is just you can only have one. You can only put one Pokemon of the opponent's team to sleep at a time. So usually, if someone were to put to sleep one of my Pokemon, I would just switch it out and hold it in the back. You choose which one's the least valuable in this matchup. In this case, I think Gardevoir is fine, but letting it die means that Adam can now just Spore another Pokemon. So let's see how it goes. Josh's Arcanine coming in, making another appearance from last week. Yeah, Vaporeon's going to pretty much take anything that Arcanine can do. Fire Blast tickling it. I mean, Snorlax not going to take much, but definitely getting pressured from Vaporeon. Might not kill. Last one did 18. Probably going to be able to just rest up. Dugtrio though keeping it in. Inviting back in Breloom. So it is a Sleep Talk set. That can be scary if this Breloom can be eliminated. Though Sleep Talking in front of a Focus Punching Breloom is quite scary. Articuno gonna take a lot from it. Let's see, Ice Beam coming out probably. Skarmory doesn't like taking Ice Beam, but definitely can live a few. Ooh, another rest Pokemon. I'm taking this opportunity to get some spikes. Apply a lot of pressure to the Arcanine and Snorlax. Ooh, Sleep Talk calling rest again. That's unfortunate. Adam's content to just keep spiking on the field. Finally gets a good Sleep Talk call, Ice Beam. But with 3 spikes on the field, Oggy's got to hope to have a Rapid Spinner. Skarmory did his job. Charizard obviously going to threaten this. With a nice Fire Blast. Ice Beam not going to do a ton back. Oh, actually decent damage, but Samus does not like taking Fire Blast from Charizard. Definitely some solid chip. And Vaporeon's just the obvious answer. So even if the Hydro Pump hit, it's just going to heal up Vaporeon. The Spike's doing some decent work to Snorlax. So because Snorlax used Sleep Talk, it now has to burn 2 more sleep turns. Calling rest, unfortunately. Inviting a Focus Punch. Someone's definitely can take this a little bit better than others with its Intimidate and Flying typing, and immediately threatening the Breloom. Dragon Claw not going to do that much to Vaporeon. Vaporeon quite a bulky Pokemon, and this Snorlax is just getting worn down by these spikes. Vaporeon not doing much to it, but it's just going to be forced to rest up again. Yeah, those Sleep Talk turns really punishing Snorlax for continuing to sleep. So, for those that don't know, in Generation 3, actually in all generations, Rest fully heals you, but causes you to sleep guaranteed for the next 2 turns. In Generation 3, you can burn those 2 sleep turns, and then switch out and switch back in, and be immediately ready to wake up. It basically holds that sleep turn counter even if you switch out. The exception is if you use Sleep Talk and don't wake up before switching out, it'll reset your sleep turns. So what happened there was Oggy effectively used Sleep Talk 3 times and then had 2 more sleep turns to burn because he used Sleep Talk twice, switched out, switched back in, used Sleep Talk again, switched out, switched back in, and then had 2 more sleep turns to burn, which is why he was not able to wake up. I don't think Breloom outspeeds Arcanine, so definitely need to switch out here. Vaporeon again, obvious. Arcanine can't really threaten it outside of like a Toxic or something. Oh, as we see right here. Might be a little bit late though. As in, I don't know, Registeel might be able to just weather the storm of Vaporeon though. Gonna take a lot of damage from the 3 super effective attackers that Adam still has on the board. Yeah, Focus Punching would do a lot of damage, but unfortunately Seismic Talk just does disrupt it. Yeah, Spore is the safe option. Allows you to probably Focus Punch. Registeel often carrying a Rest Sleep Talk set though, so it could possibly Soundless is getting quite low. Can probably only take 1 more of those Focus Punches. Flamethrower, Vaporeon takes that easy. Toxic is chipping it down, but it might just be too little too late. These spikes are doing work on Jagon's side here. Wearing down a lot of his defensive walls. Not counting the sleep turns there. So that's one of the dangers of using Sleep Talk when your opponent puts you to sleep. When your opponent puts you to sleep, you'll sleep between 1 through, I believe, 4 turns. Generally it's 2 to 3. I believe 1 sleep turn and 4 turns are very rare. But when you use Sleep Talk, you're basically are taking a gamble of, am I going to continue to sleep? Unlike when you use Rest yourself. So we do know that those have Sleep Talk, so we might be able to keep interrupting the Focus Punch, but pretty safe to Focus Punch here. I mean, you have a basically 1 in 3 chance of getting interrupted. Massive damage to the Registeel. Not much can take that stab Focus Punch from Breloom. You can probably sack it here in order to keep tempo. Vaporeon also coming in isn't that scary for you. HP Grass gonna do a decent amount. Vaporeon getting a little bit low, but so is the rest of Oggy's team. Surf might kill from here. I'm not sure if it does. Articuno is a little bit bulky. Oggy forced to rest up here after. Ooh, Dragon Dance, maybe a physical Charizard set. We know this has Fire Blast, Dragon Dance. Dragon Dancing again. Double speed, double attack. Sleep Talk calling Rest twice. Oggy getting a little bit unlucky there. Adam boosting up his attack, only to use a special move. Interesting strategy. Maybe some sort of rock slide for the Salamence coming in. And nope, just switch it out. Vaporeon getting healed up there would have been quite nice, but you can definitely take another HP Grass and Ice Beam back to kill. Nice game from Adam. I mean, kind of a slow-paced game. Unfortunately, Oggy didn't really have anything to answer the spikes. Losing a Snorlax early meant that Vaporeon can just get value every time it came in. Breloom was quite scary too. Overall, Adam played that pretty well. Conserved his getting momentum. Conserved his Vaporeon, getting a lot of momentum with that Charizard Breloom offensive core, forcing a lot of switches, getting a lot of that value from spikes. And with this, Adam, I guess now it takes the name Oggy. So Oggy's been passed around the league. Let's see who gets it next. Next match we have August, no longer Oggy, versus Oscar. Roommate matchup. Let's see how this one plays out. Both of these guys 0-1 so far, so looking for their first win. Tyranitar lead. Very scary into Hariyama. Smart play by Oscar. Oggy led Tyranitar last week, so maybe a little obvious that he was going to do it this week. I mean, you want to get Sandstorm up early, but Hariyama, a great matchup into Tyranitar, threatens a one-hit kill with Cross Chop. Not a lot really wants to switch into Hariyama, and as we saw last week's in last week's match, August's team is actually quite weak to fighting type moves, so this Hariyama might be getting a lot of value. You can also threaten the knockoff to get permanent progress, expecting them to switch into something that can actually take the cross chop, and you knock off to remove leftovers. Definitely a very scary lead matchup to face off. As he calls out, just goes for straight cross chop, doing 50%. Q-boned. That's what happens when you use cross chop. You miss sometimes. A crit brick break gonna do a decent amount. Hariyama possibly out of commission for a while. Oscar content to just keep cross chopping until he's done. Regirock coming in. Gyarados looks like a HP flying. Not going to do anything to Regirock. Regirock just going to sit there. One of the best cries in all of Pokemon, by the way. Steelix also, slaking. Not going to take much from Regirock. Dragonite coming in. It's interesting on the predicted Earthquake. Good move from Oscar. Doesn't want to take an HP Rock from Steelix, might be able to threaten with some special moves like a Fire Blast. Regi's coming in. Frozone, like the nickname. Definitely threatening Dragonite with a nice one-hit kill. Explosion from the Regice. Not exactly a fan of that move. Regirock gonna take nothing. Getting tickled from that explosion. Explosion does do a ton of damage and has a defense having effect, but Regice with a poor attack stat and Regirock having an incredible defense stat. Gonna be able to take that for days. I'm not exactly sure about that play. I think Explosion might have threatened Dragonite, but so does Ice Beam, and Ice Beam doesn't lose your Dragonite check. Now Dragonite can kind of switch in for free against a lot of these things. A lot of these goobers on August's team. Maybe he was trying to snipe an incoming, I don't know what. Trying to snipe some kind of incoming threat. Brick Break gonna just do less than a ground type move. Regirock winning this battle. Tyranitar coming in. Depending on the Tyranitar set, oh, it's slower than Regirock. Roaring at them makes sense. Celebi doesn't look like there's much. Celebi might be threatening with like a good drain here. Leech Seed, what a safe play. I assume That could be Hidden Power Bug. I feel like Hidden Power Bug would do a lot more than that. Unless the Celebi is crazy defensive. 50% seems really low for a Tyranitar Hidden Power Bug. I'm not exactly sure though. Anyway, Celebi just slowly whittling down this L-Tar with Leech Seed. Quite an apt name for this Tyranitar today. Switching out to Farpex the Dodrio. Great name there. And no leftover healing. Let's see. Could be a choice band set. Oh, agility. Dodrio already faster than most things on Oscar's team, so interesting move. Maybe baton passing out. Ground type on the obvious Thunderbolt. Probably Hidden Power Rock. Dragonite can definitely take another though. And Celebi can take a bunch, so just even with the critical hit only taking 25. You gonna see another Leech Seed? Yes we are. Probably one of the safest clicks in the game. Celebi can kind of just recover back up. I guess going with another agility on Dodrio has yet to get any value from it. Substituting on the Psychic, possibly going for a Pinch Berry. There we go, plus attack. About to die to Flo doing a lot of damage, but only living for one turn. Not sure what Steelix is going to do to the Celebi. Yeah, Earthquake wouldn't have done much anyways. Not in a great spot. August just really doesn't have anything to threaten these Zapdos and Celebi defensive core. Possibly sacking Dragonite here. August could turn this around. Earthquake doing a decent amount to Steelix. August could turn this around with some big Dragon Dance sweepers in the back. Tyranitar probably not Dragon Dance with Roar. But Gyarados, I mean, I'm not sure what else he would run besides Dragon Dance. Definitely could get scary if you get a lot of boosts up. Link Regirock. Pretty similar Pokemon here, but Oscar with the smart switch in. Red Gyarados, throwback to the Lake of Rage. Dragon Dancing up, let's see. I don't know if it can threaten Zapdos. Looked like HP flying earlier as opposed to Hidden Power Rock. Double Edge might threaten a kill. Smart switch out to Slaking, conserve the Gyarados, try and get a better opening. Get some chip heal. Ooh, crit. Dropping it to Sandstorm. Nice. Celebi's taken care of. That's one threat down. Is that Hidden Power Grass or Ice? Not sure. It looks like Oscar might not have much to deal with this Steelix. Maybe not the best idea to let his Zapdos die if he needs it to threaten Gyarados. Blaziken in the back, definitely threatening everything. Blaziken, super interesting Pokemon in Gen 3. Has moves to pretty much threaten almost everything you can switch in, so it can be very scary to bring stuff in on it. Yeah, Earthquake on the Gyarados, take out the Regirock, is getting down to the wire. August in a really good position. Hariyama's going to drop to an HP flying. Possibly should have just Dragon Danced. I don't think HP flying kills Blaziken. It might. Thunder Punch in the Blaziken though. Great job on Oscar to hide that until he knew he could finish the job. And then a fighting type move should just win the game here for Oscar. Yeah, Brick Break can't miss. And another Brick Break probably seals the deal here. Great game from Oscar. Close one. Close one again. Oscar likes close games. Another fire type starter. Last Pokemon sweep. August had some interesting ideas. Almost wanted at the end with that Gyarados. Maybe if he got a Dragon Dance up, he could have killed that Blaziken with a Hidden Power Flying or something. Dodrio, interesting plan with the Dodrio, just couldn't quite get it off the ground fast enough. Really wasn't able to break through Oscar's defensive core until it was too late, and Oscar just keeping that Blaziken in the back. Great matchup. Threatens 4/6 of August's team, so a great way to keep that hidden until the only two Pokemon that matched up against it were dead. Great game from both these guys. Oscar moving on to 1-1. August 0-2. Next up we have Manny against Kevin. Both these guys 1-0. One of these guys is going to pull up to the top of the standings after this week. Let's see how it goes. Manny leading again with Cloyster. Kevin intelligently identifying that. Moltres does have a solid matchup into Cloyster. Probably threatened by Explosion, but Cloyster's special defense being really low and neutral to fire means that Moltres can just rack down a lot of damage here. Hidden Power Grass going to also do a ton of damage, but Manny electing for the Spike. On a quarter HP Cloyster, that was kind of hard to use. Blastoise coming in. Gonna take a lot from that super effective hit, but is threatening out with Surf. Porygon 2, pretty defensive Pokemon. Probably my favorite Generation 2 Pokemon, honestly. Pretty bulky, can honestly just recover off and let the Surf damage and threaten with Thunderbolt. Actually, a Thunderbolt coming in. With no Sandstorm, you can rely on leftovers a lot to do a lot of the recovery. See what Sceptile, ooh, this little Leech Seed action. We're going to see Sceptile just use Substitute until Gengar dies. Looks like it. Gengar definitely threatening with Ice Punch, but not fast enough to attack it before the Substitute comes in. Nice little gameplay loop from Manny here, slowly chipping down that Gengar. Getting chipped down himself, but at a much slower rate. See, at 70% to 80%. And this is a tough time because Sceptile can just Leech Seed again and just repeat the same process. Interesting to not... Oh, that makes sense. He's... Moltres roaring out the Sceptile is pretty annoying, so just going straight up with the switch. But roaring back in the Sceptile, that's scary. Back to Porygon 2 and Blastoise, two defensive stalwarts for this team. Porygon is threatening it though. Nice switching to Jolteon on the Volt, or the Thunderbolt. But Kevin has his own electric immunity with Claydol. Earthquake definitely probably would have killed the Jolteon there. Is he going to switch back into Jolteon? Oh, switch back into Sceptile. Makes sense. I'm going to start the Sub-Seed action all over again. Ooh, Sceptile getting Thunder Waved is kind of unfortunate. It makes it so it has a harder time outspeeding things to keep Substitute up. Yeah, Flamethrower to break the sub. Hidden Power. Not sure what Hidden Power that is. Maybe Hidden Power Ice. Ooh, unfortunate burn on the Blastoise. Mr. Turtle's days are numbered. Blastoise, Torrent Boosted Surf doing a lot of damage to the Porygon. Kevin with the safe recover option there. Jolteon roaring out the Claydol, exposing Heracross. Not much Manny has for this Heracross. Kevin's whole team revealed. Double Rapid Spinner. Kevin keeps switching in Claydol only to get roared out. Manny slowly getting chipped down on this the 3 grounded Pokemon on Kevin's team. Looking to switch for some reason, despite knowing exactly what Kevin's going to do. Unfortunate paralyze on the Sceptile, probably trying to get a Leech Seed down. Yeah, it's going to drop easy to a Flamethrower. Cloyster not threatening much either. We already know Moltres does more than 75% to it. Jolteon does threaten it, but you know that Claydol's coming in. Yeah, Roar, smart play. Kevin finally deciding to call out the Roar. Let's see, does Jolteon have... Ooh, Typhlosion, man. He's signature Typhlosion. 40% HP to the Claydol, not enough. Claydol is just ripping through this team. Aerodactyl definitely can be threatening. Explosion taking it quite low, though. Can't take any more hits. Double Edge might kill Starmie here if it's an offensive variant, and it is. Porygon 2 is bulky enough to really not have to worry too much about Aerodactyl. Yeah, smart switch and sack the Blastoise. Maybe if you get enough chip down this Porygon 2, you can win with a Rock Slide. Aerodactyl Rock Slide. Quite threatening here. Can definitely win with just a few flinches. Unfortunate freeze, but not going to matter too much. Double Edge. Yeah, you're locking into Double Edge. You've already lost. Gengar would just switched in afterwards and won. The win con there is really just a few Rock Slides flinches, which I've seen it happen. Pretty well played by Kevin. It seemed like he had a lot of defensive switch-ins to all of Manny's options. And with 3 levitating Pokemon, Spikes didn't really pressure him too much. Maybe if Manny was able to get down another 2 layers, could have really built up the pressure, but Kevin able to stem the offensive powerhouse of Manny cruising this week. Alright, on to our final match. In my opinion, the 2 scariest teams of the tournament. We have Jack, 1-0, and Brandon, 0-1. Thirsty for his first win. Had some interesting roster trades this week, so let's see how any new strategies he's employing will work out. Jack sending an Eldest Boy first. Love the nicknames. Flygon threatening a Fire-type move. Both switching out. Jack's intelligently scouting for a Fire Blast or Flamethrower on that Flygon. Some common coverage. Martin Van Buren definitely would take that with ease. And honestly is in a great position here. Swampert definitely a positive matchup to Metagross. Who protect to scout the boom. Now Jack knows there's no Fire-type move on the Flygon. Body Slam, interesting move. Maybe he just wants to spread paralysis. Not typically seen on Flygon. Gives Jack a turn to set up spikes. Metagross. Most Metagross sets do not threaten Swampert there. Meteor Mash would not have done too much. Swampert taking that easily. Nice Ice Beam, knowing he wants to switch back in Flygon. He did it before. He's going to do it again. Let's see, Metagross. No Leftovers recovery. Metagross Explosion, definitely going to take this out. Soul Rock coming in. Threatening a possible Fire-type move. Ooh, Reflect. Reflect Light Screen, that's a scary combination. Does Brandon have some sort of sweep in the back? Lanoon. Now that's a scary Pokemon. Belly Drum. As of right now, most of Jack's team is quite threatened by this Lanoon. 4x attack is very scary. Lanoon gets stab, extreme speed. This water type, I guess, Houndoom. Not going to do too much against a max attack Lanoon. Extreme Speed definitely going to take that out. Let's see what Jack's answer is. OJ Simpson, the ghost type. So he must not have had Shadow Ball there on the Lanoon. Burn going to chip down this Melodic, but giving it Marvel Skill could be quite tanky. Melodic and Big Girl the Chansey, definitely just some blobs going to sit here for a while. This might be a slow game, folks. Blissey definitely has a positive matchup here with Seismic Toss, but Melodic, yep. Rest coming in. I usually see Recover or Refresh variants of Melodic. I haven't seen a lot of Rest. Fortress coming in, possibly going to lay down some more spikes. Ooh, a Rest Talk variant of Melodic. Definitely can do a lot to this Fortress. Surf, threatening a 2-hit KO. But Blissey can just sit here for forever. Brandon Sleep Talking, not sure about Rest lasting exactly 2 turns always. Fishing for a freeze, not necessarily the best option considering Blissey can heal it by just switching out. Critical hit, even 22%. I mean, Melodic's just stuck having to rest every few turns. Slowly losing PP. Ooh, Wish Blissey. What's he trying to heal up? Ooh, a Medicham coming in. Interesting nickname. Fake Out going to get an extra turn of Toxic. Doesn't want to stand against Solrock here. Solrock Explosion. All that it can really do after setting screens. Lanoon, not super threatening right now. Oh, Shadow Ball. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, Lanoon can't really threaten Fortress that well. Last him on Raikou. Or second to last, I guess. Actually, wait. Lanoon had a Shadow Ball. That's interesting. I assumed it didn't because it switched out on Dusclops. I wonder, perhaps, max attack Lanoon Shadow Ball doesn't kill Dusclops, and that's what Brandon was scared of. But if not, he probably should have just Shadow Balled and let the Dusclops drop. It looks like most of Jack's team was threatened. I guess at that point, Fortress was still pretty healthy and definitely could have lived an extreme speed from Lanoon, but other than that, Jack's team was very threatened by it. Fake Out, not going to go before extreme speed in Generation 3, so Medicham would have been one hit. If Brandon could have used this unit a little bit later, maybe could have just swept this team. Raikou definitely has some trouble with Blissey. Toxic going to put it on a timer. Yeah, just roar it out. Unfortunately, though, OJ Simpson also quite bulky. And getting a substitute up to just stall this monster out with Toxic. Yeah, roar out the substitute. We do know this Medicham has Fake Out, so going to get at least one more turn of Toxic, and that's a lot of damage. Could that be Banded Fake Out? And this looks like game. Yeah, with Blissey, the Melodic just gets PP stalled and loses. Especially with the pressure Pokemon and Dusclops. We'll see how long these guys drag this out, but not looking great for Brandon here. Yeah, Brandon forfeit. Probably a smart move. Save us all some time. Overall, interesting battle. I really like the Lanoon setup. I think he pulled the trigger just a little bit early. It looks like, yeah, I think Lanoon does just beat Jack's team. I'm not sure if Extreme Speed kills Blissey, but definitely with a little bit of chip could have swept through it. Really, you just needed to get Fortress down, and then Lanoon can kind of go to town. Unfortunately, Fortress was still alive and able to threaten that Lanoon greatly. Melodic definitely being a nice switch in, but against Jack's also very bulky team, not a ton that Melodic can really get done. With this, move to the standings. Kevin and Jack taking a clear 1 and 2 spot with 2-0. Jack edging him out with a +9 differential over Jack's 8. For those of you who don't know, the differential is the amount of Pokemon you have left over when you win the game. That's going to be the tiebreakers. Adam and Jagon, both at 3 and 4, both 1 and 1. Adam definitely has a +3 differential over him, so taking that number 3 spot. And then Oscar and Manny also at 1 and 1, though they only have a +1 differential, so they're going to be tied at 5th. And then Brandon and August at 0 and 2, looking for their first win. Just a reminder, folks, the top 6 are the only teams that make playoffs, so Brandon and August need to turn it on here. They both have had some pretty tough matchups, I will say. So some pretty strong and 0 and 2 teams. Still a tight race. 6 more weeks of the regular season. I think both of these guys can absolutely get some more wins, and not some teams I really want to be facing coming into the next few weeks. Let's look forward into next week. We have Brandon and Oggy, Jagon. Maybe Brandon can get up his first win here against Oggy. Oggy at 1 and 1, wants to stem the bleeding. Adam and Oscar, an interesting matchup. Both at 1 and 1, trying to gain some momentum. Manny and Oggy, not much to say about that matchup. Kevin and Jack, though, both at the top of the standings. Both 2 and 0. Let's see who is going to be 3 and 0. Who's going to take a clear lead for this season? Jack definitely has a very scary team. Kevin had probably my worst ranked team from the start, but has really been proving me wrong and picking up the game quite quickly. So stay tuned for next week. We'll see how things shake out. All right, see you later.